Welcome to Moving Forward with my co-host,
Karen Casino.
And myself, Ryan White. Today, we have with us Liz Brown. She is a family law attorney with the law offices of Cage and Miles, and she is here to enlighten us on Gray Divorce. What's the Gray Divorce?
Great. Well, originally it kind of penned itself back when people who had been married for 40 years or longer were then facing and looking at divorce. Today it's kind of morphed into more of if you've been a married couple for probably somewhere between 20 and 30 years and are usually at least 50 years of age. And we're just seeing a much higher percentage and demographic of these gray divorces happening now. For instance, in 2020, they were more than double of the divorces of any other...
Double?
Yeah. So,
age group.
Of any other age group divorcing. So they were about a 35% seeing that were all gray divorces.
Why are gray divorces more common now?
Sure. So I think there's a lot of things behind this. For one, we have a longer lifespan, right? So over time, everybody's living longer and starting to maybe reprioritize what they want for themselves. So there's a little bit of that going on. There's obviously also, just society has changed, right? It is more acceptable now to be divorced. We see higher percentages of it happening throughout all cultures, which obviously spans, various ages of people as well. So because it's now more acceptable, people aren't staying in this marriage forever. They're seeing, differences happen in their lives, wherein they're now considering, I'm not sure I want to do this with this person anymore. So in the past, maybe this same generation, these same people of these ages would stick it through, would stay in it. And now it's much more acceptable for them to be able to go out of it. They can support themselves. We've got, a lot of couples that are both career spouses. They've been doing their thing and they can continue on doing that.
Mm-hmm. So when dissolving and going through a gray divorce, so to speak, there's a variety of tiers. Let's call it the kitchen table, the mediation, the collaborative, and the litigation. Is there a particular flavor of dissolution that is better suited for the gray divorce?
Sure. So oftentimes we're going to find individuals who are in a gray divorce who are pretty sure of themselves, right? They're further along in life. They've had careers. Maybe they're seeing the end of their career. They know what they want. And so in my opinion, I've been seeing a greater amount of these gray divorces entering into ADR, right? And so for the most part, that's a mediation process for most couples. One, they know what they want and they want to go and achieve it. For instance, we've always planned that at 60 we were retiring, right? We've been working, we got kids through college, we've made our investment plans, and we want to keep that plan. We don't need a judge to tell us what we should or shouldn't do, right? So mediation is a great process for that. They're also mindful of cost, right? They're a much more savvy buyer, right? They're not ready to just, jump into a huge litigation cost, and they want to streamline this process. So mediation allows them, a more timely process. They get to control the process. The costs are generally less, and where they need it, they can pull in other professionals to that mediation process. And I just think they're mindful of that. They're not interested in spending a lot of money, and they want to get through the process. There's an emotional side to it all too, and they've kind of made their decision and they know where they want to get to.
So what issues are unique to the gray divorces?
Sure. So because we're talking about people at least 50 and older, right, they probably have a trajectory already for retirement. So division of retirement becomes pretty crucial, as well as ongoing direction of the financial picture of this family, right, that's going to be breaking up. So the retirement dollars, who's going to be able to tap what first, how that looks, right? So spousal support is always a contentious issue, right? And so here in a gray divorce, maybe we're more about income upon retirement than we are in the immediate here and now. You might not have to have as many difficult conversations about how support's going to continue now. Maybe they both can continue, but one spouse might be looking at receiving Social Security, where the other spouse isn't opting into that, right? They have a different pension, a different payment scheduled for their retirement. So now is somebody going to have a windfall on one side by dividing a retirement, such as a pension, whereas then somebody else is also going to have Social Security, but the other party won't. So you've got some real unique issues to look at because they're so much closer to retirement that's kind of your support concept. The other thing about couples that are divorcing in this sector is that you're far more likely to see levels of inheritance have come in over the course of the marriage, right? So they're older and more likely their parents might have already passed away. And so inheritance money has come in. And what does that look like? Did that come in and just sit somewhere, or did that go towards something for this couple? So you're more likely to see some separate property discussion that may need to happen for these couples as well.
Financial impact, and I know you've touched on that several times here, but let's say hypothetically I wanted to minimize my financial impact, which I'm sure all these people do. How does that play out?
Sure. So, of course, any divorce tends to have a financial cost to it. As you asked and we evaluated earlier in this segment, mediation can be a great way, to streamline that process, right? You're using pooled resources to hire one professional who's going to help guide you through the process, your mediator. They're not advising you, but this process draws on one set of resources to pay for everything. Obviously, each individual should have a consulting attorney through any process to flush out and understand what they're making decisions based on and what they're giving up or getting. But certainly the mediation process is one of the best ones to keep costs down. The other side of that is that more likely than not, there might be resources to draw from to pay for anything that's going to be needed in this gray divorce, right? So hopefully you're looking at people who have, had more longevity of careers, probably invested in, various assets, real estate, so forth over the course. And so you're using a pooled resource to help with those financial, concerns and questions.
That's Gray Divorce. This is Liz Brown. She's a family law attorney with the law offices Cage and Miles. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.